This tutorial will show you how to create a mosaic effect from a colored photograph. This is the result of the artwork, and we're going to look into details here. So basically the image was posterized, and it looks like an illustration, and it was power clipped into these grids here. Now the photograph that we used here is the picture of Elvis, which is this one here. So if you notice that this is the photograph here in the left side, and in the right side is the posterized, and we did some effects in here. So the first thing we have to do is we're going to create these grids, and I'm gonna zoom in here. So these are just grids which were combined. So now, so how do we do the grids? So I'm going to start from here, and I'm going to create a rectangular or a square. So I go to my rectangular tool, or F6, then hold down Control and click and drag to make a perfect square. Okay, so that's my square. Now I'm going to make a series of squares here in one row. So what I'll do, I'll click on this square here, plus sign your keyboard to make a duplicate without offset, and then I'll drag it to the right side. While I'm dragging it to the right side, hold down Shift and Control to make a straight path or straight line. And there, that's the one. So now I have two squares. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to blend these two to make a series of squares. So I click on the first square, hold down Shift and click the other square, and go down Effects, go to Effects and click on Blend. So when you click on Blend, you're going to have this dialog box or a docker that shows you how many steps do you want. Like right now it's 20 steps, and if I click on Apply here, it would make 20 steps of that square. Now I'm going to increase the number because that's not enough. Say I'll try 30. Click on Apply. Okay, so not quite. I'll make it 40 because it has to have small space in between the squares. Okay, I think 40 is fine. Now I'm going to hit F4 to zoom all, and going to zoom in here. Okay, so I'm good here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate this one and bring it down here, and then we're going to blend it again. But before doing that, I want to break this apart first. So you click on the blended squares and click on Arrange, click on Break Blend Group Apart. So that's important so that we can make a blend again from this one up to here. Okay, so this one is separate now, this one, and also this group blend. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select all of the squares in one row, and I'm going to group that again. It's important to group that. Okay. So now what I'll do, I'm gonna scroll here first. So I'll click on this grouped squares, plus sign in your keyboard, and bring it down because I've got duplicates there, right? So while I'm bringing it down, hold on Control and Shift to make a straight path going down. And there. Now I can blend these two lines of squares, two rows of squares. So click on the first row, hold down Shift and click on the second row. And then in here, I can set the number of steps. Let's say 20 first. That's not enough. I'll click on 30. click on apply, and I'm gonna zoom in here. Okay, I'm going to make it 35 because it has to have equal space in between the square. That's pretty good. So 35 is good. Now, okay, so F3 to zoom out, and okay, so we're all good. Like, I'm happy with the grids now. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my photograph first to the left side. So I'm going to choose my photograph. Okay. Now, if you, let's say I want to select a photograph, but when I click on it, it selects the grids, the square, because it says here blend groups and layer. Now the technique there is, once you click on this one and it's not the photograph, hold down Alt in your keyboard and then click again. Then now I can get the object behind the first object in front. Okay, so hit Alt, hold down Alt and then click to get the object behind. Now I'm going to move this to the left side here. Okay, now this one, these are my grids. Now I'm going to combine all of this. So I make a crossing window, select everything. Okay, now I'm going to arrange. I'm going to break, blend, group apart. So this is important again. Break, blend, group apart. And then I'm going to ungroup it, ungroup all. Okay, then combine. Okay, so then combine. So once you combine that, it's an object now. It's one whole object now. So I'm going to move my photograph here. Okay. Now my photograph is behind the grids, which is good. So I click on the photograph because I'm going to power clip this. So I click on the photograph. I know that's the photograph because it says here JPEG, right? So I go to effects, power clip, place inside the container, and then the container are the squares. So I click on the container, or the squares. There you go. Now the grids, if I zoom in here, okay, so the photograph is inside the grid. Okay, now if you want to edit the photograph inside the grids or inside the power clip, you click on the grids here, and it says here in the status bar, it says power clip curve on layer 1. So you can go to effects, power clip, edit contents. So once you click on edit contents, now you are editing the inside of the power clip, the object inside the power clip. So I'm going to edit this. I'm going to make it bigger. Okay, move it there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, so that it would look like an illustration, not a photograph, what I'll do, I will trace the colored photograph. So I click on the photograph and you go to trace bitmap and click on outline trace, and I'll click on low quality image. Now the purpose here, low quality image, so that it would look like it's an illustration or a, let's say a painting, right? So you click on low quality and then this one will show up. That's normal. You just click on reduce bitmap, and after that it will show you this dialog box here. Now this is the before and this one is the after. Anything I do here, it would trace and it would show up in here. Okay. So now it's in the process of tracing, because here this is the status of the trace. Now if you want to delete the original object, click on this delete original image. Okay, I would do that. I would just click on delete original image, so that once it's traced, the original image would just disappear with it. Okay, so you saw the change. From a photograph it became an illustration here. If you want to zoom in, click, or you can use your scroll on your mouse, then pan. Okay, so I'm happy with the style here. Okay, so once again, click on delete original image, and if you want more details, you can move the slider over to the right side. So you do some experimenting, but for me this one is good. And then I'll click OK here. Okay. So once I click on OK, it transferred to my CorelDraw document, and you'll notice it's already in here. Okay. Now once you trace the photograph, I noticed that it would, I don't know if you notice it, but you see there's like a white gap around every color. To solve that, you click on the traced image, which is grouped image. If you look at here, it's group of 183 objects on PowerClip. In your keyboard, plus sign in your keyboard, and watch it, the white lines will disappear. So plus sign your keyboard, now it disappears, the white lines. Okay. So now if I'm happy with that, I just click on finish edit object. Finish editing object. Okay. Now I'm going to remove the outline. I click on the grids here and just right mouse click on the X icon here. There you go. And if you zoom in here, you could see that the photograph became an illustration with Corel Power Trace. Okay, so now we're done with the tracing and putting the image onto the power clip. Now if we look at the original here, it looks like there's a background, a black background. So what I'll do here, I'm just going to make a black square and put that black square behind the object here. Okay, so if you want to be exact, you go to your view and click on snap to objects. So once you click on snap the objects, and then you make a rectangle or a square, click on that, and then if I go to this endpoint here, it shows that it snaps to a node. So I click and drag going to the lower right node, the very lower right node of the object. There. Now I'm confident because it snaps to the node that would be to the edge of the power clip. So I'll make it black. Of course you won't see it because it's in front. So you go to arrange, order to front to back of page. Sorry, to back of page. Okay. So we already have that. Now what else do we need here? So we need to put the name Elvis. Now the word Elvis is inside the power clip. So in order to put it inside the power clip, we're going to edit the power clip, right? Which is the grids here. So you click on the squares or the grids and you go to effects, power clip, and then click on edit contents. So once you edit contents, I'm already inside the power clip. So I'm going to type the name Elvis. I'm going to choose a font. Let's try this one here. I'm just going to enlarge it. Okay. And then I'm going to color it. Let's say let's say I'm going to get a color here, so I click on my eyedropper tool and I'm just gonna sample one color here. Okay, I know it's sample, it shows it in here, and then I'll hold down shift and then pour there. Just gonna close this docker here. Now I want it to be different from the background, so I click on the word the name Elvis, and then in here, if I want a darker shade of this one or darker tint, while selecting this one, I hold down control. Okay, hold down control and just click on black, so it would add a tint or darker shade of that color. Okay. Now I'm going to change the I'm going to move this over here first. I'm going to change the spacing of the letters here. So you click on the text, go to your shape tool, and then move this over to the left side. Go like that. Okay. So I'm happy with that. So F4. Now I'm going to rotate this. So select and then click one more time. Okay. And you see this rotation handles. If you click that, and then you can go rotate like this. Okay. Now if you hold down control, it would snap in every 15 degrees or whatever. Okay, so I click on control and then that's 90 degrees. If you notice here in the status bar, in the property bar, see it's 15 degrees until it goes 90. Okay, so I'm going with 90, so I'll make it smaller. I'll put it here and then I'll overlap it a little bit. Okay, and then I'm gonna make it smaller here. And then I click on, just gonna adjust that and click on finish edit contents, editing objects. There you go. So I have that. It's a little bit different, but that's okay. Now to stylize it more, if you look at the original one here, there's like a different squares, a different colored squares here. I think so that it would look like it's pixelated. Okay. So how do we do that here? So I'm going to use my Smart Fill tool. So you click on Smart Fill tool and then here you can specify the color. I'm going to make a different color. Let's say I don't necessarily would copy that, but let's say I'm going to use this one here, a different shade of yellow, or okay, let's try this one here. Click on that, and then I'm going to just randomly pick a grid or a square, and that click on this, that. Okay, so that I'm using a Smart Fill, and that one. Okay, so now I forgot to remove the outline, so I'm going to select those 4 grids and then remove the outline. So right mouse click here for no outline. There. So now we can still add some more here. So I go to my Smart Fill and specify color. I'm going to change the color to let's say this one here. Click, and then in here and specify outline options, I'll just click on no outline, so that we don't need to remove the outline. Okay, and click here. We'll just put a random here, there, and maybe here, there. And then we'll zoom out, or F4 to zoom all. And there. We add some more. Let's add some more here. So click. There. So there you go. It's a mosaic effect. Very simple, but very nice.